Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Harrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean, and most importantly,
YouTube.com/upNXT every Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
yes, we are live on YouTube every Wednesday after NXT airs. We go live and we chat about NXT. And do you know why that is? Because we are your NXT friends. Friends. And Wednesday nights, we like to hang out with our friends. And that's what we do on our YouTube. YouTube.com/upNXT. And follow us on Twitter at upNXT Podcast and our Facebook page and group that keeps growing and growing, which is so much fun. But Davey, what is going on?
Well, I got a haircut today. My first.
Oh wow!
So I've been having haircuts during quarantine.
Yeah,
but by my girlfriend.
Right? Did they count?
Well,
you looked good.
I looked okay,
Yeah.
although she wasn't the first time. We just had clippers, so I was like, just clipper the whole thing. And for some reason, it cut like the fringe shorter than bits on top. So ever since then, so like for 4 months, it was growing longer on the top than the fringe, which wasn't too noticeable until you look close. And then after that, she was nervous. We bought like scissors and stuff. She was nervous cutting the top.
Your girlfriend near you with scissors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she'd use the trimmers on the sides. She got really good at that, but would just not touch the top and would just thin it out. So it's been growing, and now it's like it got longer. It was so much more noticeable, the different lengths. It was kind of weird. So I've been wearing a hat a lot and stuff. So got it cut today. My first time professionally get it all fixed up, and have to wear a mask, obviously, because they're mandatory inside now in Ontario.
Don't be an ass. Wear a mask.
And yeah, so that was quite fun. But the thing is, it's not only is it hard to hear people because of like the muffling.
Wait, are you wearing the mask the right way?
No, it's weird. Everyone said this at work as well. Like for some reason, I just can't.
Oh, because you're talking through it.
Because you're talking through it. But I also reckon it's like you take for granted how much maybe you lip read as well. I don't know. But I found it so hard to hear. So today the guy was like, "Hey, so what do you want us to do?" And I'm like, and all that. And it, when you ask someone their name and then they keep saying it and you're like, sure, I don't know what you said. It became that with my hair today.
Oh. Do you like this? You're like, ugh.
He was like, okay, so we do this. I think he thought I had my hair as I don't know, to the side or something.
Gargano.
And it got to the point where it's like, whatever. Just cut my hair.
Yeah.
But it's weird, you go around the sides of the ears and he's holding the mask ear thing off to get your hair.
Wow.
But I asked about 3 times at the end, can you thin it out as well? I'm like, I get really thick hair. And he's like, yeah, sometimes it's nice to just change your hair up a bit. I'm like, no, I've got thick hair. Can you? And I think maybe the accent as well. I don't know. He was French. I was English.
Hair.
We're in Canada. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it at the end of the day. But it was hard work.
It sounds like it. I mean, I don't have hair on my head, so I just shave I've done for the first time in my life, took a razor to my head, and that was interesting. I didn't have to wear a mask because it was just me doing it. That was a whole experience. And I know someone listening right now who shaves their head is like, it is the first time you do it. It's like.
Like a face razor or a cutthroat proper one?
Oh, not like the butcher and the blade. I wish I could get that. I think maybe I'm having a birthday in a few weeks. Maybe for my birthday I'll go to a barber shop. I'll wear a mask. I'll let him take a nice blade. I'll go the whole 9 yards for that maybe.
Yeah, because I was thinking because it'd been a while, maybe just have the face thing, but they're not doing that obviously because of COVID. But I was like, yeah, maybe this is the time I treat myself. Have the hot towel and the beard and all that.
Yeah. I mean, things are slowly opening up here in Toronto, and we watch the news, we watch our stuff, and the U.S. looks all scary and stuff. But at least you can get your haircuts. That's what's important. That was a big thing for so many people. People were protesting. I want my fucking haircut.
I found it weird though. People moaning about how terrible their hair is. I'm like, just try cutting it yourself then. Yeah. If you're so embarrassed by how you look right now, just fucking put a razor to it or something.
Just do what I do. Shave it off.
Yeah. Especially guys. It's like, come on, just buzz it. Whatever.
Yeah, I was really nervous to finally shave my head, but I always have facial hair. Like, I got my ginger beard going on. So I like the shaved head. Like, wrestlers got. Look at Stone Cold. Look at Goldberg. They're the shaved head with some facial hair going on. It's a thing. So I'm like, all right. So maybe you should grow like a mullet, like a wrestling kind
Like
of
Mike
style.
Awesome?
Mike Awesome? Yeah. Which we'll be talking about this week on our Patreon. Best match ever, featuring Nate Milton, who has chosen Masato Tanaka versus Mike Awesome. And we've going through and watching all these old like Japanese, ECW, all these matches for our Patreon, which is going to be coming out this week, which is awesome. But I talked to Nate. It's a double shot of our brother Nate, our friend Nate, who I just did a review of the musical Hamilton without my friend who is the most musically inclined person I know for when it comes to musicals.
When it comes to musicals, yeah.
Like for musical theater, but you refuse to watch it because it's not going to come to theaters.
Yeah, no, I want to see... I don't want to see it in a movie theater. I want to see it...
Oh, you want to see it in a theater?
Yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
so this is a show I've been like trying to see for like a couple of years now. Annoyingly, my friend Ashley, who I went to drama school with, was the original lead in London.
Okay.
And when I went home to London last year, he literally finished his run like a week before.
Gotcha.
So I didn't get to see him. But it was in Toronto before COVID all hit. So I imagine once the theatres reopen, we'll be getting it here. And like, I think I'm at the point where I'd pay a penny, like a pretty penny to see it.
It was a lot of fun. I don't know much. I don't know much about my history, but check out, it's on this very free feed with me and Nate Milton, where we learned a lot. We learned so much about history and theater, and we're cultured. We're so cultured here at UpNXT in Post Wrestling. So that's some of the shows.
I've heard it's fantastic, and I'm sure you guys did a great job. But I won't be listening to this
spoilers,
one.
Right?
Yeah.
It's okay. They filmed a bunch of different endings.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
so it'll be fine. You'll be good. So we did that, and that was so much fun. We will have we have an extreme month coming up for our Patreon. We mentioned the Masato Tanaka Mike Awesome feud and rivalry and best match ever. We have a show coming out. I think it's tomorrow. Are we putting this out? When are we putting this out? This week.
Friday.
This week we're doing a top 5 show, and because our month is extreme, we're doing a top 5 extreme moments in like wrestling. And we actually, spoiler, we recorded this today, and some of the stuff we talk about is extreme, really extreme. But John Cena joins us for that as well this week on our Patreon. And we've been doing so many like different wrestling podcasts and stuff. We do our AEW. Tonight was a big night. It's the American Bash Part 2. Mm-hmm. It's the second night. Triple H says he doesn't counter book. He just books the best he can book possible. That's what he does. And that's what they did tonight.
Yeah. I'm not someone who, I don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's funny AEW are doing this and you doing that. Well, yeah, obviously. Why wouldn't you? I'm sure if NXT put on a big show, like if they announced, I don't know, In Your House Part 2 in a few Wednesdays' time, I'm sure AEW would put on something. Sure. But I'm not going to criticize a company for doing that because they end up putting out their better work. Like, would you rather just a regular NXT or would you rather a big thing?
Competition is good.
I completely call bullshit when you're saying I'm not counter booking, I'm just booking. But
I like what you're doing.
But then a lot of the feuds were the direction they've been going in anyway, so why not pull the trigger?
Again, we do love AEW here in the BDE, the Braden and Davie State. We're not anti-AEW because we do a review every Thursday.
We do indeed,
where we talk about it and talk about the thing. Because NXT last week, apparently Sasha Banks is money. She's legit boss. As you're wearing a Sasha Banks shirt, you found it. So clearly tomorrow when it comes out, it kind of tell what people were really interested. We had the winner takes all, which is our main event tonight, and then Jericho and Orange Cassidy, which there's too much wrestling I wanted to watch tonight, really. But Sasha.
I actually put a poll on our Twitter at UpNXT Podcast earlier today to see what people are most interested in. We used to do this kind of when AEW first started. We were like, what show are you most into
tonight? And
I got to say, usually we have I think we've got pretty unbiased listeners, even though we are up next with the NXT podcast. A lot of the time people would say, oh, AEW was the better show or whatever. But interestingly, this week, Great American Bash Night 2, people were most looking forward to it. 55.8% of the votes. So pretty close, but I guess the card they were putting forwards was more attractive, this double title match especially. And I think the announcement of Swerve versus Gargano got a lot of people excited as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think both shows look really strong tonight. And as a wrestling fan, I did, not just because we do this, but I would have checked out both shows. But we will check that out. Our Wednesday night ritual is we're roommates. We make each other. We swap weeks of making each other food. Tonight was last week I did the Great Canadian Bash.
Yep.
We did poutine, back bacon sandwiches on a bun, whatever. And this week is the Great American Bash. So we did a barbecue. You barbecued some stuff, and it was fantastic. So happy 4th of July to all our American listeners out there. And so then we watch NXT. Then we do this show, and then we finally get to hang out. And since we have the gardens, the BDE gardens, our backyard, we just pimped it out. We have a whole pad back there. We can live out there. We got our TV,
we
Wi-Fi
barbecue
extender
whilst watching NXT.
Yeah, we got to admit, I smoked a backwoods while you barbecued, and we watched NXT all in the same time, and like life was good. Like I know we're not in America, but that's the Canadian dream.
And we hear Ralph and the squirrel just having fun in the trees.
They were, they actually were. Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it. It was getting awkward, but those raccoons we definitely have lots of them living in our backyard, including Ralph. So it's been all right. So wherever you are, maybe wrestling is still your sort of escape, and they tried tonight, and it's entertainment, and it was very entertaining. And I guess we'll get into the show we're here to talk about, because it is the Great American Bash. Oh, but actually,
just before we do,
right,
I just wanted to go across the pond very quickly.
Yeah, okay.
Because as you mentioned last week, just yesterday, sorry, you did the free review of Hamilton.
Yes.
And it's a double whammy this month, because next week on the free feed, we will be giving our free show. It'll be like a best match ever style show, which we do on the Patreon.
Yeah.
But looking at this month's New Japan Cup. This is New Japan Cup. There have been some really great matches. We've been running the tournament. We've obviously got the finals this week.
Am I still beating WH
and
Park?
Dominion?
I think so.
Everyone beat WH Park. I ended up slipping ahead of you.
I don't care about that. I care about beating
But the
WH.
brackets been really good, and it looks like it's down to the final, really. So it's John Cena versus Kevin Swanky.
It's rigged.
John is on 45 points. Kevin is on 44 points. They both picked opposing winners.
Okay.
I won't, if people are catching up,
Sure.
I won't give spoilers. So it's John v Kevin this weekend in the New Japan Cup.
I'm a little behind myself right now, but I will say we will be talking about like all the best kind of matches that we went through it. But obviously, we're bluffing, because the top match of the entire cup will never be touched by the instant all-time classic, the best match of the year. That was
Hiromu Takahashi versus Toru Yano.
Wow.
We watched this at about 4 a.m. 2 weeks ago, and I've been giving my ratings as we go, mainly for this show, so then I can like go back and look after.
Right. Wow.
I broke the scale. My first ever 5.75 stars. It was phenomenal. I mean, Hiromu's had a good run. His match with Ishii was all right.
He was like
his match with Ishii was all right, but Toru Yano, Ishii, and the elevator. Need I say more?
So an elevator, he gets tied up. Wow, it might be one of the best things I've ever seen.
You've got helmets to prevent from
Oh yeah, he's wearing the helmet.
We're talking about haircuts.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeez,
the whole match was based on the COVID cut.
If you're a casual wrestling fan, maybe you just listen to us and don't watch. You have to. You kind of owe it to yourself. You just need a laugh. You check out. It's like 20 minutes. Yeah, Toru Yano versus Hiromu Takahashi. Well, I don't know what I watched, but I absolutely loved it.
I think it was needed in this kind of empty arena thing. We've seen WWE break it up with the cinematches, and I feel this was kind of almost the equivalent of a cinematch. But what a perfect pair. We don't really see them face off much, because Hiromu's been in the junior heavyweight, but Hiromu's just so full of life and energy and just happiness, and Toru Yano is Toru Yano. But it was so much fun.
But as much as I love, and we'll talk about how much I love Hiromu, he's one of my favorites. But he's not as good as Big Tom, the Stone Pitbull, Ishii. My pick to win the whole thing. Now I'm behind, and I don't know where things are. But Ishii and Hiromu had a banger too. So
we'll
definitely be doing that but definitely be talking about probably those two matches more.
That will probably come out Wednesday, probably around the time NXT is airing. We'll put that out, so you can have a double whammy of us, or a triple whammy if you're a Patreon, on Thursday.
Perfect. So we've just been podcasting. We're watching wrestling. We're just enjoying the summer wherever we are, and somehow we don't want to hang out inside, so we've got the Wi-Fi extender to watch wrestling in the backyard.
Yes,
that's how
hey, you got to make the most of this weather.
Yeah, we really do here, especially in Canada. But now let's go a little north of the border of Canada to America, the US of A, because it's the Great American Bash. Night 2, winner takes all is the headline here, because it's a doozy, this main event. We've never seen this in NXT before, where 2 titles are on the line, and we'll see what happens later. Just don't let NXT superstars use their phones when it's a taped show.
Yeah.
But it's okay. They film multiple endings, right? Are they ever going to come out, these multiple endings?
I don't know. I thought I did pretty well avoiding spoilers until I listened to John and Way. And Way goes... I don't want to talk about the spoilers. We're not going to talk about the spoilers here, but let's just talk about the fact it was spoiled. And then John goes, yeah, I mean, sometimes to tell people that a title change is going to happen, it's like, okay, wonderful, great. I made it this far, John.
John Pollock. I told you I think I've said it on this show, where I woke up for Kenny Omega versus Okada Dominion years ago. 2 out of 3 falls. I woke up after working. I missed the show, and I went to bed, slept for like 5-6 hours, and then put an alarm to wake up. I didn't use my phone my whole shift, went to bed, didn't do anything, and I woke up to my alarm, and the first notification on my phone, for whatever reason, is just a tweet from John Pollock that says, Kenny Omega defeats Okada in something seconds. I'm like, thanks, John. It wasn't your fault, but thanks.
I know I've got this 72-minute match that I really want to watch, but...
I didn't even open Twitter, I swear. It was just like, hey, did you want to know that this guy tweeted this at this exact moment in time? I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. And then I sat there for an hour being like, fuck. But it was still good. But it's okay. Because as John Pollock would say, it doesn't matter the outcome of the match. It's just about the match. It's about the journey.
If you're John Pollock, maybe. If it's me, I kind of don't want to know the result of the match if I'm going to invest some time in it.
Yeah, it's like a TV show or a movie. Like, you don't want to just know the ending. No. And like in Hamilton, when they tell you in the first 2 seconds that he's going to get shot. Which, if you know your history, like I'm a American history buff now. I don't know if you know that after watching.
Okay.
I know everything. So, Great American Bash.
We love you, John. Thank you for giving us a platform every week.
And we're canceled from Post Wrestling Network. We start off NXT from July 8th, Great American Bash, Part 2. Candice LeRae, or should I say Candice LeSlay, as her new gear here. She comes out with this top that says Candice LeSlay, and that's what she's going to do tonight, but she's instantly attacked by Mia Yim. And this street fight starts off. So Candice LeRae versus Mia Yim, street fight to start off the show here. I was a little thrown off that this was the match they chose to start, but they both have really cool... I guess we always talk about like wrestling. Think of all the classic street fights in wrestling, where it's like you think of Shawn Michaels wearing jeans, Jericho wearing jeans, everyone wearing jeans.
Kenny Omega wearing jeans and a old t-shirt from a pay-per-view a year ago.
Yeah. But... even these two have like their like quote unquote street gear.
Oh, Mia Yim's gear is so much better than her regular gear.
She looks like pretty gangster.
This looked great for her.
She's rocking the Tims here, which they have to be like special Tims.
We got distracted during this match because we went off about talking about these Tims.
I can't. I wear Tims in the winter in Canada, but I can't walk in them.
Oh yeah, I've had Tims before. I can't imagine these have got to be like softer Tims.
Like Braun Strowman wears these like I won't want to say gimmicked, but they're a different type. Like anyone can buy these, but like they're not as
like
heavy and clunky.
Like I did West Side Story years ago, and a load of the guys in it had Converse that were like dance soles, like and like bendier than regular Converse and stuff. So, but they look like from a stage or whatever. Yeah. I imagine this has to be kind of what these Tims are, because otherwise, just the boots to the face, Jesus.
Yeah,
that thick leather sole
kicked in there.
Damn,
very scary. But Candice LeRae also in her like street gear with this like cool shirt she's wearing, and they look great. But it's Mia now who's just on this attack of like wanting to beat the hell out of her. And she grabs weapons. She throws a trash can lid. Like there's no crowd, so it's not like she could hit someone. But like she just threw this thing. Then she gets in there. She's beating down on Candice, who fights back, And now they're grabbing a table and they're setting that up. And Mauro mentions that Candice LeRae is comfortable with the dinner table, but what about these tables? Candice then throws Yim into the post, like pulling her collarbone first into it. They start to brawl around catering.
There was this bit with this table when it was set up in the corner of the ring where Candice kind of striked Mia and she stagger walked to like lie on this table. It looked kind of shitty.
Yeah, it was weird.
So it was like, oh, let me get into position.
They're fighting on this around this catering thing that's totally like just there for this spot. Like that was almost.
Sorry, I meant the bit in the ring.
Oh,
when
in
it was,
the ring. Sorry.
It was against the turnbuckle.
Oh, with the table.
Mia kind of walked backwards to lie.
Oh,
it
yeah.
looked really
video gamey.
sloppy.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But then we've got the food catering as well.
This catering looked just as bad as this NBA catering that's come out about the players are getting their food. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh. It's not as bad as Firefest, but the catering here at Full Sail looks medium. But this was the stage. This is a gimmick catering. I give them the benefit of the
better
doubt.
than the McDonald's the president gave him.
Nothing's better than McDick's. Come on.
Okay.
We have Candice, who's then they're on this like platform kind of thing, and Mia Yim runs at her and drop kicks her, sending Candice off like one table through another table. But then as Mia Yim goes over to like beat her down, there's a fire extinguisher to the face from LeRae. There's then like another drop kick. There's spots where they're using like more chairs. They're throwing chairs and more chairs, not just one chair, many chairs.
I've never understood this. So they're going under the ring. Mia Yim right at the start of the match before the bell rung. I think Tom Phillips described it as IKEA under the ring because she's grabbing all these weapons under the ring. I don't know if you noticed, but she picks up a trash can lid and throws it in the ring, but frisbees it right over the entire ring.
It went flying.
Which was funny. But here, Candice is getting all the chairs. Why are you getting 17 chairs when Yim's down, where you could just grab one and just keep smacking her with it?
Because why would you just do that?
Did Awesome and Tanaka need 17 chairs? They
just
got one and fucking used it.
Until it was broken and then grabbed another
exactly.
one. 17 of them. Yeah.
I don't know. I always find it a bit hokey when they're just throwing all the stuff in the ring.
I need a chair. Yeah.
It's like throwing all the weapons towards their opponent.
Well.
But oh well.
Well, there's a enziguri from Candice LeRae, but Mia Yim fires back with a roundhouse kick. Both are down. There's then a trash can that's brought in, like we mentioned, that pushes Candice into the corner, boots the trash can with her Timbs into the corner, then hits a running cannonball into the trash can, into Candice. Then Mia Yim, who's obviously a fan of NXT General Manager William Regal, pulls out of her pants, her sweatpants or whatever outfit she's wearing here.
Or like shorts.
Yeah. Brass knuckles. And she's about to hit Candice with them. Then they do, they like revisit a spot that's from one of your favorite matches. Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle.
Oh, yeah.
What is that match?
King of the Ring 2001.
Wow. So they set up the table... I am the table on the top turnbuckle as like a platform, like almost like those ladder, some of those TLC matches, triangle ladder matches would do. And they're now fighting up on this table, and somehow Candice grabs the knucks, just levels Mia Yim with it, then off the top turnbuckle table platform hits a flying, swinging neck breaker, which they land now into this like pile of chairs.
Yeah.
And Candice LeRae pins Mia Yim.
So I guess the chairs were worth it after my complaining.
Yeah.
But still, I think she could have won this match quicker.
Here you are cutting a promo on chairs, and in the end, it was the chairs that helped her win.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good match. I thought both worked hard. Yim kind of frustrates me because she shows glimpses of being really good, and then she'll just be a little sloppy at times, or just kind of a bit of lack of ring awareness or something, which is odd because sometimes she's fantastic. I thought this was the wrong choice to open the show with. I don't know what AEW were opening with, but when you're kind of competing, even though you're not counter booking, I'd have put Gargano Swerve opening the show, just a really hot wrestling match. I'd have put this somewhere in the middle, and then I'd have closed with the world title.
Yeah, this was fine. It just didn't really. It just kind of felt really like a TV match. It was brawly. There wasn't really anything that like stand out from it. Like really, like we went through the whole match and there's some funny stuff and there's catering and there's a fire extinguisher, but like realistically,
the catering thing kind of sucked. But I thought they worked hard. Like they were swinging those chairs at each other and they were hitting each other pretty hard. Like they worked, but it was just I don't know. This feud has never really had me invested anyway, and plunder matches don't really do it for me anymore. I say as we're about to review a load of Extreme Rules stuff this month. But yeah, I just thought middle of the show, I thought this could have really like perked things up a bit, but I don't think it was the right thing to open the show with.
Like I liked it, it just didn't really do anything. Like it wasn't bad, it just didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So we have a video from Mark Henry who says tonight Adam Cole is going to lose the NXT Championship because Keith Lee's the future of this business. We have P&P. Now, this whole episode feels like we never went to a true commercial for like more than 30 seconds because most of the time we're in the show with limited commercial breaks or picture-in-picture.
Yes.
So during P&P, we see after this match, Candice and Mia Yim are still just laid out. And no one comes to check on them at all. Sorry. Just laying out there. These poor women.
In Japan, they're there with the ice packs. Like immediately, the bell rings. It's like, I need to check on your neck.
This is
these women
backwards.
Are not moving.
This was backwards. Why was no one like this is kayfabe? But like, why was not even the ref like, yeah, match is done. Sorry you landed on all these chairs. Sucks for you. Johnny Gargano comes out and he helps his wife, Candice, out, and he's kind of being all snickery and being kind of cheeky, looking to Mia Yim, kind of being like, ha ha. And leaves, and still no one helps Mia Yim. She's got to leave on her own, so she's that HBIC.
Yeah, because Keith Lee doesn't give a shit anymore because he's got a double title match.
Sorry, hon. I'm busy.
Sorry, I'm stretching.
So we go to a recap of a match I didn't know really happened, which it was Tony Nese and Leon Ruff. It was like, hey, this match kind of happened. Here's proof. Video proof of it.
New NXT signing Leon Ruff. I think they said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Which good because he worked like every single show during the beginning of the quarantine thing.
Jeez, just crazy. Well, Tony Nese beat Leon Ruff. Therefore, Tony Nese is going to have a match tonight. But his opponent is NXT's resident thick boy, Bronson Reed. This guy's kind of got a makeover recently, and I dig it 100%. I know when we first saw this guy, maybe months ago, almost probably a year ago, on this show, I remember I was like, oh, this guy should like evolve and become something. And I think now is the time that he's actually slowly becoming something. We saw this little angle with him and Karrion Kross where he lost to him in that match, but he put up a fight. So I think this guy could potentially be a big star here in NXT. I see the future for Brad. I like the gear, I like the look. I think everything he's killing it. And as soon as Tony Nese steps up to him, I'm like, Tony Nese, tonight is not your night. So Tony Nese actually starts off by making fun of Bronson Reed and his thick boy stature, because Tony Nese has like 16
He's
abs.
saying you got a bit of weight on you, and I've got all the abs.
He's like, look at you, thick boy, when I look like I got 8 abs. But you know,
and Bronson Reed should be and I've made more of an impact in WWE in a couple of months than you have.
Just I always say when people are like, hey, you want a 6-pack? And I go, why would I want a 6-pack when I could have a keg?
Yeah,
that's what Bronson Reed is saying. And he runs down Tony Nese here. Tony keeps running against the ropes, but just gets flattened every time. Bronson lifts him up with a military press, drops him, then hits a senton right off just running kind of senton. Looked great. Nese somehow gets a small package, but it's only like a 1 or 2. Nese then fires up with some offense, lays Bronson out, and hits a lion salt, but it's just like another 1 or 2 count there. And Tony Nese runs against the ropes, runs at Bronson, and Reed just gives him this clothesline, spinning Tony like just completely inside out here, lays him out, climbs the top rope. Bronson Reed with the thick boy splash. That's not what he calls it, but I'm calling it that for now. And Bronson Reed pins Tony Nese. And the Auszilla? The Auszilla. gets a victory here. This was like a squash match here. Tony Nese being used as enhancement talent. I'm super fine with it.
This was really, this was good to see Bronson Reed pick up a win like this. We saw him with, obviously, the Karrion Kross match, which he lost, but he looked good, right? Good. And he showed off a bit of personality, standing up for himself. Here beat Tony Nese, who I think is just going to be, like, the jobber now, right? We say enhancement talent, but, like, Tony Nese, he's just...
Wow.
He's been around forever now, it feels, and just playing the same character.
He's so busy spending all his time getting those abs.
If
he was just working on
just change. Something needs to change. I know I've said this before, but he really needs to change it up because it's not interesting to me. But it was great to see Bronson Reed just fed someone, win, puts a bit of a spotlight on him. I could see a feud. Probably, I know you're grown, but probably with Killian Dane.
Sure.
Like, obviously,
Big Lads Wrestling.
Something was set up later in the night with Dane, but like in a month or so, I could see that being a way to put Bronson Reed over further and move him up the card a bit.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's going to keep getting better, and this is NXT supposed to be developmental, but this guy, like I said, like, I think this guy will get better and improve, and he totally has. Yeah. And even his look is way cooler. Just wear black with some skulls. You're always looking cool. That's a go-to. It's go-to. It's like when you go to a restaurant. I remember going to restaurants. You just, if you don't know what to order a burger. It's safe. Black with skulls, safe. We have a video for Mercedes Martinez, who is showing up later tonight in her, like, I guess a re-debut. Is that what you can call this? A re-debut?
Yeah, because we've seen her a bunch.
Sure.
Yeah.
She says that NXT is the center of hopes and dreams. She's gonna stop that. Not anymore.
Her voice didn't suit her look at all. It was weird because I had the barbecue going. I was barbecuing. Saw this Mercedes Martinez and was like, "Is that how she sounds?" It was a lot like softer and higher.
Okay. Yeah, I can see.
She didn't sound menacing, is what I'm trying to get.
It's all like dark, and she's wearing like a gas mask, and like
she's like bigger. Pierced. She's got the tattoos. Yeah. She's got the piercings. And then it's like, oh, and I've just come to NXT. And...
Yeah, it's like what's his? The soccer player?
David. Yeah, she didn't sound like David Beckham.
No, she didn't, but you look at David Beckham and then you hear him talk.
It's just because I spoke highly in a high voice and I'm British.
That's when I do...
David Beckham looks like he speaks like that. Come on, that pretty face.
NXT is the center of hopes and dreams. We go to Robert Stone and Aaliyah, who I think a lot of people can admit that maybe some of the highlights of NXT lately is this Robert Stone.
They've been fun, yeah.
Robert Stone is backstage with Aaliyah, and they approach Shotzi Blackheart, who's kind of fixing up her tank backstage. She's giving a little tune-up, and Robert Stone and Aaliyah try to get her to join Robert Stone brand. They're like, "Hey, do you want a position? You could join us. We could create an empire. It could be a whole thing." And Shotzi says, "No, I ride solo." Robert Stone gets a little upset by this, and as he's like talking back and getting a little frustrated, he's got a cup of water, and as he's so mad and yelling at Shotzi for turning him down, he throws the cup of water away like over his shoulder. But what he doesn't realize is he accidentally threw it into Killian Dane. Yeah, it's like Chris Jericho accidentally spilling coffee on Kane. Except it's Robert Stone accidentally throwing a cup of water onto Killian Dane, who then beats up Robert Stone, lays him out here, and if that wasn't enough, insult to injury, Shotzi Blackheart gets in her tank and drives over Robert Stone's leg as he's screaming in pain and agony, "My leg! My leg!" Shotzi climbs out of the tank and leaves by saying, "Eat my tank."
I feel really sorry for this Robert Stone guy. He asks Rhea Ripley, "Hey, do you want me to help you? You've been losing a lot. I've been losing a lot. Shall we try and help out each other?" And she puts him through a table.
And throws him in the garbage.
And throws him in the garbage. Robert Stone goes up to Shotzi and say, "Hey,
you want a job?
Do you want to join me?
Times are hard. Do you want a job?
I'll look after you. I'll be your manager. Take care of you." And she runs over him in a tank.
They see me rolling.
I'm sorry.
They hating. Loved it. Ungrateful.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'm a fan of Shotzi Blackheart. She did not sound good here at all.
She sounded like she didn't wait for her cue. You watch like a stand-up, or not a stand-up, a show, like a sitcom back in the day when they're laugh tracks. The people always set up the jokes. You always set up, and then you say your line. There's always that like pause before you say your line, right? She didn't wait. He was still screaming, and she's like, "Eat my tank, bye, see ya."
She sounded like she was reading lines. There was no kind of personality put into it. She sounded like she learned it like half an hour before this segment and was like, all right, what are my lines I gotta say? And Killian Dane versus Robert Stone does not excite me at all. I mean, sure, if it's fun watching this guy who's clearly
maybe Bronson Reed will join Robert Stone brand.
Maybe, but if you enjoy watching this guy who's clearly having a rough year, just being bullied and beaten up, sure. But I don't know. This didn't really work for me.
The part about, I agree with like the whole like it's so lame and cheesy and it's so over the top that's probably why I'm like I like it every week because it's so ridiculous. But the part of him, the actual part of him getting run over with his tank on his leg, and he's been on Twitter since he's selling. I guarantee he comes out in a cast next week.
Oh yeah,
so
or in a wheelchair,
or something like that. So I thought that was so funny and like why wouldn't. I've been waiting for her to hit someone with the tank. Like that's all I've been waiting for.
I did love how she was just fixing it up backstage.
Yeah, she's tuning it up. She's like, "Hey, what's going on? I gotta probably use this soon to run over someone's leg."
But yeah, she definitely needs like she has everything like to be a star, but she needs to work on her delivery because this wasn't good.
It'll come. You know why? Because she was raised by her dad.
Raised by my dad.
And she drives tanks. Tanks for nothing. Robert Stone. So. P&P, as like the show continues, I mentioned like there's little commercials. Like the commercials are airing, but picture-in-picture is there, and it's still just Robert Stone dying. He's like, "Someone help me!" And they like.
Well, they didn't go to full commercials at all, did they?
They did like at the very end of some picture-in-picture for like 30 to 60 seconds max.
Right.
So like you were always watching.
That was another thing I noticed. Whenever it was going to a commercial break, they would go, and we're going to this in less than 90 seconds.
90 seconds, we'll be back.
So you'd be like, "Oh, that's not enough time to go anywhere."
You're trying to barbecue.
I'm trying to barbecue. But no, they were clearly trying to keep you on the channel the whole time.
Well, in order to do that, they should just have Shotzi Blackheart riding around in a tank. That would get me to come back. I don't know. Either someone running someone over in a tank or a puppy battle royal. I mean,
hey, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm not, that wasn't a diss. That wasn't a sneak diss. I'm like, genuinely, if you put puppies on a show, you're winning. You instantly win.
And we're not talking Jerry Lawler puppies.
No,
we're just
definitely not.
Puppies.
Definitely not. They mentioned earlier that the Bronson Reed match was sponsored by like this giant Shaq-a-roni or something, pepperoni pizza. And then later in the show, Shaq is in another commercial for Frosted Flakes. Like, Shaq, dude, like, what's going on? You're killing it, but like, you need to relax.
Yeah.
I can't eat. I mean, you guess you got the breakfast and then you get the pizza later. Just there was way too much Shaq on my TV tonight.
There's been like Shaq clearly likes that commercial money.
I guess. I mean, what else has he done?
I mean, he hasn't got enough, I'm sure.
Like, I'm not dissing Frosted Flakes. I'm not dissing pizza, but like Shaq, can't just pick one. And he does icy hot.
Does he do icy hot?
Of course, he's icy hot. It's hot. It's icy. We go to a match that is, in fact, icy hot, and that is Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Johnny Gargano. Now, Swerve kind of helped medium. He got kind of involved into an angle with the few of them. Was it last week that kind of set up this match tonight? And Swerve's got some new gear here. He's looking pretty cool with like kind of longer, tight.
They're like Torianos.
Oh my God. No, they don't look like they're the same cut maybe.
Yeah,
but they don't.
Juice Robinson.
Like,
that kind of.
Sure.
3/4 length.
Yeah. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat maybe. I don't know. So Isaiah Swerve Scott looking fresh, and out comes Johnny Gargano, and Johnny looks at the camera and says, "Whose house? Johnny's house." And this match starts off, and Johnny and Isaiah Swerve Scott are both like on the smaller side, obviously, but are so quick. So both of them are like dodging each other's moves. And Johnny obviously like some of us here at NXT, is missing a certain NXT star. So Johnny Gargano decides to take a page out of Pete Dunne's book. And Davey, what does he do to Swerve's fingers?
He's breaking his fingers.
I don't know how Johnny would say it. Johnny would just break your finger. He didn't say anything. He just breaks his fingers.
What are you gonna do? You got a broken finger.
I don't. That's definitely not. Johnny doesn't talk like that. But Johnny goes for the joint manipulation here. Johnny does, and attacking the fingers and hand of Swerve Scott. He goes for a head scissors, but Swerve instantly rotates and lands on his feet like it was nothing, like a superhero. This is now where they go for move, and they know each other's moves. Like they block it left and right. It's like a choreographed action movie. Really cool. And then it ends up in a standoff. Really cool. Johnny goes into the middle of the ring for a slingshot DDT, the final beat, but it's blocked. And Scott then hits a head scissors of his own, which sends Johnny to the outside. And then Swerve hits a Fosbury flop.
Fosbury
Flop to the outside. He is very fly. There's then a flatliner. Gargano fights back with a spear, but it's only a 2 count. Swerve then hits this like deadlift, suplex, lift up into a brainbuster, hits the house call. Gargano hits an enziguri. It's craziness. It's insane. Johnny Gargano has turned heel. Not only has he changed his music, which is now wherever you can find music, but he also changed his like kind of finish. Now the Gargano escape is like his almost like a crossface type submission hold, but now he does it with an STF while locks in the Gargano escape.
Yeah, this looked great.
Yeah, it's like more of a heel move.
Yeah,
really. We've seen him do it to Ciampa actually in their match with the crutch. He used the crutch with the STF.
Yeah.
But here it is with the Gargano escape. Looks awesome, but there is some escape as Swerve escapes out of it and flips like Gargano out of it. There's another crazy exchange. Swerve has Gargano's feet tied up to the rope, lifts him in the air and hits him with this like upside down driver, which he's been pinning people with, but Gargano kicks out of it. It cuts to the WWE talent crowd and Kona Reeves sighting. Take a drink. Kona Reeves is marking out. Not wearing a mask. And there's then a spot where Scott has Gargano on the outside, and he climbs up to go for like this flying double stomp to the outside. Gargano gets out of the way as Swerve gets to his feet. Gargano on the outside to Swerve hits a poison Rana. Jesus, just like his wife.
Yeah, Moro calls just a page from Candice's book.
The Poison Pixie Rana, if you will. And Beth Phoenix is losing her mind at this point. She's like, whoa, this dude just did a reverse Hurricane Rana on the outside? That's insane. As he rolls Swerve into the ring, he slingshots in with the final beat DDT. Johnny Gargano pins Isaiah Swerve Scott. Yeah, this was so much fun. I will say it all the time on this show. Johnny Gargano does not miss. He always has great matches. Even this heel character, some of the stuff he was doing with the dinner, maybe I wasn't the biggest fan of. But when it comes to wrestling and the storytelling of a match, he can do no wrong. He is so fantastic. And shout out to Swerve Scott. This was fun. You know what? I might even say that this was my match of the night.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think this was the one as soon as when it was announced, we all went, oh, this should be really good. I loved that they did a lot of these sequences where they were both like ducking each other and dodging each other. It was so quick. I thought it was fantastic. I feel this match is missing... I feel NXT in general is missing Nigel as a voice. Because I feel this kind of match... I think Beth has been good, but... You want the kind of Mauro and Nigel sort of... When it's just Mauro screaming, I get why people get put off because it's a bit too much. But Nigel has that different voice as well. And I feel this kind of match would have felt bigger because it did feel a bit quiet at times for me.
Sure.
Compared to what I was seeing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. This was my match of the night. I really enjoyed this. Obviously, we're at upNXT. We're very big Johnny Gargano fans. Swerve Scott's been very good since he started in NXT.
He looked great even though he lost.
These two are great together.
Yeah.
And also bringing out a bit of a different side from Gargano as well. We know he's quick, but being against someone who's quicker than him was great to see him try and catch up with that. I thought this was really good.
Yeah, like Gargano is known for being really fast, and Swerve is faster, but
Yeah.
they were totally on par with like the moves, blocking each other, counter after counter. The exchanges were awesome. It was super athletic. I love this. This was a lot of fun, and I love the like. Gargano to me is such a good. I guess he's just a good actor when it comes to in-ring psychology and the way his character. He's always known as like the baby face, right? The clean cut. But here it's different, and you can tell he acts different. He carries himself different, and it stands out to me. I think he's great. This was so much fun, and you got a Kona Reeves sighting, so you can't go wrong with that. It was the finest thing I saw all night. We then go to. I forgot to mention that earlier. We see Adam Cole, who shows up to Full Sail with not only Bobby Fish, not only Roderick Strong, but Kyle O'Reilly, who all of them will not come out later tonight.
No. This was just in P&P though, wasn't it? Yeah.
So we then come to a video package highlighting the NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai, and her #1 contender to the title, Tegan Nox. They will fight next week on NXT for the Women's Championship. Tegan Nox says that they're quite similar, and then it cuts to Tegan Nox like training outside somewhere in Florida, obviously like doing exercise. She's got her exercise gear. She's like walking a dog. It looks like she's just like out
lifting
in the park.
shit.
She's just out in the park, like got her training gear on. Like she's just like she's getting a good work in the sun. And then it cuts to Io Shirai when she's talking, and Io Shirai is submerged underwater in the dark with her hair flowing and colorful lights shining on her while she's talking in Japanese with the subtitles and says, Tegan, we are similar. We both worked hard. And it shows cuts of them like throughout their entire careers through the indies and Io in Japan and all this stuff, and says Tegan is a comeback kid. Cuts back to Tegan, who says, I'm fed up of being called the comeback kid. I've been here. I didn't come back. I've now been here, and I don't want sympathy. I'm the #1 contender, and I'm soon to be champion, and that's it. So Tegan's just kind of taking it seriously. Like, stop talking about my past. I made it, and I'm fighting for the title. But as it cuts to Tegan here with all this stuff, Io is saying, Tegan, this is my women's division. I'm on the top of my game. So if you believe it's your destiny, we'll find out next week. I will be waiting. How is Io Shirai the most interesting character in wrestling to me? Because all of a sudden, I don't know. I want to know how they filmed this because it looks so awesome. The visual of her underwater talking. Obviously, you can't hear. It's like when you're wearing these masks, you can't hear people. The bubbles and then the translation, the subtitles. But it's like dark and scary. Oh man,
yeah, this is really cool.
This is so sick.
I really like this. I think it's a hard match to build, right? Because it's two baby faces now, and Tegan Nox has been such an underdog, and we all know her story. So I think they built this really well as a babyface versus babyface match. The video looked cool, obviously with the visuals of Io in the tank. They made it. I assume Tegan wasn't in Wales, but they tried to make it look as much like Wales as possible.
She's over in Wales,
I don't think she's flying back and forth.
Well, then where's Io? Where was Io? In the Full Sail pool?
Yeah. But no, I thought this was great. I like Tegan's kind of edge here, being like, yeah, we all know I fucking like tore my knee 3 times, but fuck off, I'm gonna be champion now.
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought this was cool.
Yeah, I really like this. And next week is the match, Io Shirai versus Tegan Nox for the women's title. I can't wait. I think I talked about briefly once. I tried that Shudder, that horror movie streaming service, and there's this movie I fell in love with I think it was called Dark Water. It's a Japanese like horror movie from like 2002, I want to say. And I got the vibes from this because it's all about like water and underwater and dripping water. Like that's the kind of.
Have you seen Let the Right One In? Or
No.
Let Me In?
No.
There's 2 versions. There's the like the Scandinavian version and then the American version with Chloe Grace Moretz. It's like a coming of age vampire thing. It's kind of dark, but it's a really cool film. I saw the play of it, and there's this sequence in a swimming pool where this kid's being drowned. And it's how do you do that on stage? And this is what I imagine Io being in. It was essentially a tank,
like a glass
on stage that was filling with water, and you saw, and the actor was like in it. And they're apparently, because they're underwater for like minutes.
Yeah.
Apparently there's like this little pipe. They go to the back of the pool
I'm
to
interested.
like breathe in air to keep in. But this is kind of what I imagine EO in, this like glass, like Houdini tank, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing how it's shot.
Yeah.
Like I want to see it behind the scenes because it's cool. It's not something you see in wrestling. Like when you think of wrestling, you would look at this and be like, "Whoa, what is that's a wrestling show? What is this?" It looks so cool, and it's pretty like simple. It's like, what can we do to change things up?
Yeah.
And do
that. When you're gonna have her promo subtitled anyway.
Sure.
Why
exactly.
not? Why not do this?
Didn't even think of that. But yeah, absolutely. Really awesome, and I kind of want to see more of them taking these different approaches on characters. Because, like I said, this character, I've said it on this show for so long, but Io Shirai has, since that heel character and taking over, and now like being the champion, it's fitting for me. Everything just feels it's really awesome to watch. Really great. Another group of wrestlers that got a makeover. You just wear black, like I said. The Legacy of the Phantom, the Lucha Cartel, they have a match, a 6-man tag match. Santos Escobar, with Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza against the team of Drake Maverick and the Los Conquistadores, Tyler Breeze and Fandango.
Yeah, they clearly, when Kurt Angle made his pit stop to referee the fight pit in NXT a few weeks ago, Breezango were clearly going, "Hey, do you still have those Conquistador outfits?" It's like, well, Christian's got one of them. I borrowed this one from Edge, but yeah, you can have these.
I thought it was like Red Dead Redemption. It was like the cowboy kind of scene, like Texas.
Like a spaghetti western kind of thing. Yeah.
It was really funny, but it's the team of Fandango and Tyler Breeze and Drake Maverick. And they're upset. Yeah,
I love that.
And Drake Maverick.
Breezango are coming out like all jokey, all as conquistadors, and then Drake Maverick walks out between them with the same like upset face he's had for the last 4 months. It's boys, Maverick. Can we just not take this one seriously?
Like we had one
like this guy's been like really fucking me up the last few weeks. And you're coming out like that.
We're trying to scare them and be intimidating. You're coming out dressed like that. You're really not helping, guys. You're really not helping. You should have just dressed up with them. If you can't beat them, join them. Well, the team of the Los Conquistadores definitely can't beat them. Joaquin Wilde and Fandango start off here, but as Fandango gets the offense, he tags in Tyler. They hang Joaquin Wilde on the ropes and then do like double boots to the face. Breeze and Mendoza are in now. Breeze obviously watched Candice LeRae earlier and hits a swinging neck breaker on Mendoza for a 2 count. Then there's some sort of assisted rope flip moonsault from the Lucha Cartel. Then there's like a Falcon Arrow from Fandango on Joaquin Wilde at some point. All these guys are on the outside. Fandango just decides. We both thought he was going to go for an acai like moonsault, like just a moonsault to the outside. Instead, he does a springboard flipping senton. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it looked awesome. Fandango taking out everyone. But of course, the heels here take down on Drake Maverick in the ring. They get rid of Breeze and Fandango, and Drake is climbing up the top. We think he has Escobar right where he wants him, but he gets dropped on his knee, which he was injured on, and gets lifted up onto the shoulders of Escobar and is nailed with the Phantom Driver. Awesome looking finishing move.
Down on that injured neck of his.
He's just all injured.
Yeah.
Really. And Escobar pinned Drake. The Legacy of the Phantom win this match.
Just don't want to say the Spanish,
No. It's
El
such a lame
Legado
name.
del Fantasma.
Ah, it's lame. Lucha Cartel. That's it. Book it. Lucha Cartel. That's what we're calling them. And I'm going to continue calling them that. I thought this was okay. I just felt like the middle of this match disappeared for me. It just felt like something... It started off really hot and then kind of everyone disappeared.
Yeah, I thought it was a quite fun, chaotic match. I didn't notice Tyler Breeze at all in the match. And yeah, as you said, it kind of disappeared, fizzled out. I thought the 3 Legado del Fantasma, the 3 of them look great together. Their look is cool. Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde were working together really well. Do you think this is the end of the Drake feud? Or do you see one more singles match, or this is it?
Like, sure, but I think we need to move. I think we need to have Escobar kind of have a serious run here with a serious
I want to see
feud.
Ricochet eventually come back and feud for this. I think now you're building up kind of the importance of this Cruiserweight Championship, especially now. Spoilers to the end of the show, we've got a double champ.
Yeah.
Right? So this title is going to be even more important because there's not as much to fight for unless Lee is regularly defending both separately. You know, you've kind of eliminated the title for the time being. So I think it would be great for these guys to just run through the Cruiserweight division, and Ricochet can come back kind of as the savior to try and save NXT and save the Cruiserweights.
What else is he doing? Nothing.
Maybe with MVP. That's it right now.
Cool. Okay. John Ceno in the chat, thank you, John, says Swerve has been saying on Twitter how he's the only one who actually beat Escobar in that tournament that was this Cruiserweight title. So,
okay.
So there's and he had a great match with Johnny. I mean, he didn't win, but I don't see Johnny going for the Cruiserweight Championship.
No.
Do you? No, I don't think so either. Thank you, John, in the chat. Also in the chat, someone says, do I mean the movie Dark Water with Jennifer Connelly? Absolutely not. That is the American remake of the movie I'm talking about, Dark Water. That I've had a few people mention me to that before. So we have now a video of Imperium. It's the tag team feature. It's the Mountain Dew feature. There's just all the sponsorships, and they tell you that, hey, remember we have tag team champions? Aren't they the champions?
Imperium, oh yeah, jeez, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was being mean by being like, wait, are they the champions? And then I remembered they are, because your face just told it all. Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano are backstage being interviewed with Mackenzie Mitchell, and they keep trolling her, saying, yeah, keep saying it. Candice beat Mia. Yeah, say it again. Well, you beat Mia. Yeah, say it again. She keeps saying it. He says, tonight I defeated Swerve. Candice beat Mia. We celebrate. We celebrate because we are great Americans, and we are the great American power couple. In fact, we are the best couple in the world. And Candice says, or the universe. Screw the universe. Johnny says, what if Finn Balor didn't get in my way? Maybe I would be on the way to being a double champ tonight. So, Finn, just remember, if you slight me, I don't forget. Which is the whole character of Johnny's, like, his MO right now is he holds grudges, is what we know. And then
so it looks like they're gonna have another feud, but roles reversed this time.
Yeah. Johnny and Candice then walk off, and Johnny, as he's leaving, looks at Mackenzie and looks at the camera and says, we're gonna go now and set off some fireworks of our own.
Wait.
Wink, wink. You know what he means by that?
Yeah.
He means he's gonna go home and eat some Caesar salad and probably fall asleep watching.
Hey, he might throw some croutons on though this time.
You might have some croutons.
They're celebrating.
It's the 4th of July. Croutons in the salad. Bless Johnny Gargano. We have Mercedes Martinez, who is a re-debut on NXT here. We've seen her in the Mae Young Classic twice, and she's going up against Santana Garrett, who I was saying to you while watching this, we have a friend of ours who looks exactly like Santana Garrett, and I'm wondering if she's living a double life as a professional wrestler. We haven't seen her since COVID. Maybe she's living in Florida and is Santana Garrett. Well, we gotta get her on the show.
Now, had Santana Garrett been on the show before or after WWE were in town last year?
Oh my God!
Because we all know they liked the bar.
The person we're talking about does work at the home of our Takeover tailgate, and well, at least they did. And the WWE was in town. They knew we had our Takeover tailgate, and then all of a sudden Santana Garrett shows up on TV. Wow, you could be onto something.
Yeah.
We need more friends that look like Santana Garrett. Santana Garrett has the opportunity to face Mercedes Martinez. Now, Santana, we've seen her a bunch. She doesn't win a whole lot, but she hits a great handspring back elbow. Martinez doesn't want any of that and receipts with a boot to the face. Garrett does a kip up, does some series of forearms, and Mercedes Martinez hits a fisherman buster, and it's done. And it's gone.
Yeah,
I was a little confused.
This is how NXT tend to do like squash matches. They often let the person getting squashed get something in beforehand. I don't know. Do you see Mercedes Martinez like going right up the top quickly? No.
This, especially after watching this, I know she's good. We've seen her. She's a indie legend for me. I've seen her a bunch in Smash Wrestling years prior, but I didn't get anything out of this. This did absolutely nothing.
Well, no, and that's why I kind of feel...
weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, she is fantastic, and I feel maybe she should move to the top pretty soon. I don't know for how long. I don't know what her... Is she going to be a mainstay in NXT for a while? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, because...
Or trainer, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like you're maybe going to keep her as a trainer at some point. I don't know how long she'll be in NXT. That's what I'm trying to get at here. So I don't know whether you just go... have her squash some people and have her challenge EO like pretty soon.
Sure, but I just this was
oh, it was nothing.
Yeah, it was weird, especially with all the hype we've been getting around it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
just kind of seeing you get beat up and then hit one move and win. But I know there's more to it, and we'll let it play out. Just like Damian Priest lets Cameron Grimes play out. So I come on this show and I like to do Cameron Grimes. Someone on Twitter, and I'm blanking on your name, but you know who you are, said his day gets brighter and brighter from listening to me do Cameron Grimes impersonations. So thank you. But Damian Priest obviously loves doing Damian Priest obviously loves doing Cameron Grimes impersonations because he does it right here with his deep voice. He mocks Cameron and goes, "Cameron Grimes." He says, "Cameron Grimes, you say you're going to the moon. Well, your trip's been canceled. Next week, you have a date with infamy. The world is going to know that Cameron Grimes is a little bitch."
Oh.
First of all, Cameron Grimes is not a little bitch. But I can't wait to see this match.
So this is next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, next week looks pretty good. I think this will be a decent match. And we've got the women's title match as well. This is going up against Fight for the Fallen. Let's just call every week something. You know?
The Bash at the Beach, the Fight at the Fallen, the Fight for the Fallen, the Fighter Fest, the Great American Bash, the Summer Fest.
Yeah,
so many.
Let's do it.
Anarchy Rules, anything you want. I think this will be great. I actually think Cameron Grimes is one of the show was lacking Cameron Grimes.
Yeah,
it just showed highlights of him like fucking with Priest's car and stuff. After this promo, it should have had Grimes like his his answer. He should have been like, this hat. Do you think Cameron Grimes and Santana Garrett get their hats at the same place? Question.
Yeah, I'm not too big a fan of Santana Garrett's hat.
Who has the better hat, Anna Jay from AEW or Santana Garrett?
Anna Jay has that stupid bow tie as well, doesn't she? I don't know why it makes me angry. It's weird, it's irrational, but like both them when they come out in their hats,
it's so irrational.
I'm like, oh, it's dumb.
I don't know what's the deal with hats.
I think the thing is the difference is Cameron Grimes is playing this idiot heel, right?
Yeah.
So the hat works.
Yeah.
When Santana Garrett just comes out in a hat, I'm like,
just in a hat, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I might be on my own here. It just gets to me.
You just get mad when wrestlers wear hats. I was thinking about it's summertime. I was thinking about getting a nice like a straw hat, like a cowboy hat or something. You think I could pull it off?
Sure.
Not like Cameron Grimes / hat, but like a nice.
You want a cowboy hat?
Like a cowboy hat, maybe. I don't know. I haven't thought about. I don't have one yet. I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
I mean, if you were in Texas, sure, but
yeah, but it's summertime.
In Toronto,
summer and the weather is fine.
Just go around Kensington Market and you'll fit right in.
With the cowboy hat?
Yeah. Anything goes.
Next to that guy, I saw the screaming guy today.
Oh yeah.
Oh! Kensington Market is a lovely place in Toronto, which we have a local guy who just rides around on a skateboard covered in different colors of paint while he just sings and screams.
Yeah.
Ah! He's like King George. Love him. It's time for our main event. Winner take all. We have an insert little video from Mick Foley, who says tonight Adam Cole's going to win because he's the greatest champion in NXT. And then we see Shawn Michaels, who says Keith Lee is going to win. Isn't it weird that it cuts from Mick Foley to Shawn Michaels, and Mick Foley's like got a gray beard, gray hair, and Shawn Michaels has none? You wouldn't call that as a wrestling fan 10 years ago. If you said one day we're going to see Mick Foley with all this hair and Shawn without it.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Main event time. Winner takes all. Adam Cole, who has now at this point been champion for 403 days. Remember that? When was that? TakeOver 25.
Yeah.
It was when he beat Gargano in their rematch. But Adam Cole defending his NXT World Championship against Keith Lee, who defeated Roddy Adam Cole's buddy in UE, who is the North American champion, title versus title. They have like a entrance kind of walkouts where they're walking through their thing.
Yeah, they made the main event feel like a main event with having we kind of glossed over the Mark Henry, Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley thing, but like they were trying to hype up this main event, right?
Yeah.
And even with these entrances, seeing kind of following them through Gorilla and all that, it made it feel special.
I think that's a big thing that wrestling, we talked about it. We do a podcast called Best Match Ever where we watch like all this old school wrestling, and I think a lot of the time when we're watching some of the older stuff, this is prominent. They always show the wrestler in a big money match, like just going into the Gorilla, like, you know.
Yeah.
So why not do this? I thought the little thing here
I liked
so
it
much. They mentioned that Keith Lee is dedicating tonight to his trainer who has just recently passed away and his grandma. So he, as soon as you're telling me that his grandma passed away and he says this is his honor, I can tell you who's winning tonight's match.
I mean, I knew when John Pollock spoiled it on Rewind to SmackDown.
I knew when the guy from Indashir told me on Instagram, but yeah. Winner take all. Cole starts off by kind of retreating every time Keith Lee tries to get advantage, but as he finally tries to face him, he's getting slammed and tossed around. They go on the outside, and Lee charges at Adam Cole, but just in the nick of time, Adam Cole sidesteps him, and Lee runs right through this plexiglass. He pounces the plexiglass, and it just shatters into oblivion. Somehow, Cole gets back into the ring with Lee, hits a pump kick to the face. Mauro Ranallo calls Adam Cole the God of NXT. I don't know if Adam Cole's ever called himself that, but Mauro just decided to call him that.
I think he's called himself a god.
The God of NXT.
Yeah.
Baby. God hits a hangman neckbreaker on Lee for a 2 count. Adam Cole then goes to the lower knee pad. He's like, I'm done with this BS. I'm gonna hit the last shot and end it. And as he goes to tease it and lower his knee pad for it, Lee, like, you know how Lee always has those horror movie pop-up angles,
Yep.
like the shots of him
The
coming
rising from the dead.
This was it, but it's him blocking the knee pad lowering, and he stops it. He scoops Adam Cole up and hits a spinning power slam, which looks a lot similar to Tour of the Islands, which is was it Jeff Cobb's move. Then, while Adam Cole is laid out, Keith Lee says, "I must break him," because it's the American Bash, Rocky IV. Lee climbs the top rope and is about to go for some sort of moonsault, but gets caught, and Adam Cole hits like a backbreaker, a backcracker, backstabber off the top, assisted there. Looks really good. Both guys are kind of dead. They then end up on the top rope right away again, and this is where Lee hits this deadlift superplex or the struggleplex. Looks great, looks awesome, but it's only a 2 count. Somehow Adam Cole gets up. He runs at Keith Lee for the last shot, to the face, almost like a shining wizard. But he's instantly caught in midair and gets dropped with a sit-out powerbomb. Not quite the spirit bomb, but it's only a 2 count. And because Cole grabs the ropes, there's then the pounce, a one-handed spine buster. Lee then hits this just massive moonsault. He comes crashing down on him. This doomsault.
Second rope, and just we talk about Io Shirai's speed when she hits the moonsault. This, from a guy this size, crazy.
This is insane. This moonsault is crazy. Somehow this isn't the end, and Adam Cole is still fighting. There's super kicks, but Lee just starts to hulk up and hulk up. Super kicks and super kicks. Adam Cole runs against the ropes and hits the last shot to the back of the head, but Keith Lee kicks out at 2. There's then a lariat from Lee that just flattens Adam Cole, but it's not enough. The Panama Sunrise for a 2 count. The last shot, he can't hit it again. He's going up top for the Panama City, but it's blocked. He's caught with the Spirit Bomb, this huge sit-out last ride powerbomb move, and then Lee picks up Adam Cole on his shoulders for the Big Bang Catastrophe. Keith Lee is your double champion at the same damn time. Yeah,
we then had all the streamers. We had
celebration,
smoke, and everyone going crazy.
And the guy from Indashir was like, "Hold on, pose right there. Let me take that shot.
I'm just going live.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pose that right there. Oh, wait, we're not live? This is airing next week? Oh, shit. Okay, cool. Keith Lee is the new NXT World Heavyweight Champion and the NXT North American Champion. Keith Lee, 2 straps, 2 belts. NXT is now NX Lee.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, look, I really like this match, and I can't lie to you. Having someone spoil this, and you know what? Sorry, I don't even know which member of Indusheer it was. I just remember people were like, "Oh, the guy from Indusheer spoiled this," and stuff like that. But he's an idiot. You shouldn't have done that. And maybe you didn't know, but how the fuck did you not know? If we're all fans and we know that you weren't live with this, you should have known. You're an idiot for letting that slide. Like, just right off the bat. And you know what? Sorry, but that does affect matches. When you told right before the week you're about to watch of a title change, not only a title change, but both titles. And of course, titles are props, and who cares? I am about match quality. And look, this was a really good match. It didn't feel to me like a takeover main event title match. It didn't feel like when Adam Cole won the title from Johnny Gargano. It didn't feel like when Johnny Gargano won the title. To me, it just felt kind of like, look, you know when Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar at quote-unquote WrestleMania? It felt like that. He still did it. It's still cool. You did it. That's awesome. Keith Lee is great, and I fucking love Keith Lee. But it's like we're in this like empty arena thing. The fans are fake. Like, it's just weird. It just all rubs me the wrong way. So it's not saying I'm a hater of this. It's just this was not. I can't say that this is like match of the year. This wasn't even really my match of the night.
So, to start with, I think it was intentional. They got the guy to leak it out.
Oh my god!
Because as you said, we know what's live and what's taped.
Sure.
Think about it. When Mick Foley won the title and Tony Schiavone spoiled it on WCW, that's when the tide shifted, right? People knew that Mick Foley was gonna win, but they wanted to see a title change.
Right.
I think they kind of. I'm not saying it's as big as Raw versus Nitro, but I kind of feel that they maybe wanted to get the fact that a title change was happening out there and rumblings going to have interest.
Wouldn't you think the ratings would be higher for this show anyways, considering it's a double title match? Like, regardless of if you know, because either way the title change is happening. So like, I don't know. I don't think.
I think it's dumb. I don't agree with it. I don't like spoilers, and to be honest, I know I'm like joking about John, but as soon as I hear a spoiler, well, of course Keith Lee's winning.
Yeah.
You know, like, as soon as you hear a spoiler, it's like, well, we're probably having a big title change.
So
look,
I'm not
I
hating
thought
on
the
this.
match was good. I think this is where you notice the empty arena thing. With this kind of occasion, I feel Adam Cole's reign kind of just ended with a whimper. The 2 dream matches, and then like they had a competitive match, but at the end of the day, Lee kind of just quite handily beat him. He hits his finisher and it's done.
It's over.
I think just the presentation, I'd like to start seeing them get out of that arena.
Go somewhere else?
Go outside. It's safer to be outside right now anyway. So
you got bashed at the beach. Have you seen the beaches in Florida?
It's summer. Surely you've got somewhere at Full Sail, like something outside you can dress up, you know? And I'm hoping that they do that. I'd like to see that for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Find somewhere. You've got your few your NXT extras, as Way calls them.
Yeah.
You've got them who can dress it up. Just get out of the studio because everything feels so samey, and I think that's what makes AEW feel special, because just Daily's Place, the like aesthetic of it,
they change it up so much.
It looks great.
Yeah. And
I think we had the cars, we had the Great American Bash set, but you've found boneyards and you've got a swamp coming up. I don't know. I know it's a big thing. You can't do it every week, but maybe for a Bash at the Beach, maybe for SummerSlam especially, make a man-made beach or something and put the ring on it.
Yeah. Bash at the SummerSlam outside.
But you're right, because it then just feels you've got this big monumentous title change, And to be honest, it needed to happen.
It needed to happen.
Adam Cole's been stale.
Look, I'm not lying. Look, this should have been, realistically, this should have been the SummerSlam TakeOver main event in a crazy bigger like arena, and it would have happened, and it would have been Keith Lee and Adam Cole putting on an all-time classic. Sorry, I tell it how it is. This wasn't one of those matches. This didn't feel like that. It just felt kind of like this. We got to get through it. That's what I'm describing it like Drew McIntyre versus Brock. It was like we just got to get through this.
It is, and I feel the Dream story is part of that. I don't feel we've had these hot title defenses.
Yeah.
It just feels like Adam Cole's been dragging this title around. Like, sure, you've had it for a while, but beyond the matches when you actually first won it, I can't think of great title defenses, which is crazy because Adam Cole was having great matches before then.
Sure. Some of the best matches.
The Ciampa match left me cold. The whole Dream feud left me cold. This, don't get me wrong, this was a very good TV match. But when you're talking about your first ever double champion, they're pushing the history of how monumentous this is.
The history of a title that's only been around for
years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt a bit meh.
Yeah, me too. And I thought I was being kind of negative, but I was kind of high on this show, and I praised Gargano and Swerve because I knew it would be good, but it kind of surprised me. Whereas I knew this would be good, but I thought it had to be great, and it just kind of was. It was a TV title match.
I feel you're seeing the formula of
it's the same.
The producers. I feel you're seeing that Shawn Michaels formula in all these big matches. It's all these multiple kickouts. It's the kind of forced epics, and especially when there's no crowd there to feed off it, it feels very forced. And it's like spoilers for our chat on Friday about Extreme Rules, but Extreme Moments. John Cena made a great point about these cinematches having different directors in to do this. Like, hire up and coming directors to film these cool cinematches. I feel the same with producers because there's such a WWE way, and now there's such an NXT way of the NXT kind of big matches.
No, see, I feel that NXT used to be the real cool show, and then AEW came around, so everyone's like, oh, AEW's not WWE, so it's instantly the cool show. And instead of kind of combating that, NXT now looks exactly, I mean, obviously they didn't plan it with the whole pandemic of the world, but they look exactly like WWE now. Like, it's exactly the same. All of them are shot in the same little arena with no people. It's just, you could show anyone the rotating shows they've been pumping out. It's I couldn't tell you.
I think the style of the matches is still different.
Sure, the style of the matches.
Yeah. But... Oh no, I think that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how the matches are produced.
Okay.
Actually, like, going through the matches, and these main events are always the same thing. It's like, oh, how many people have we seen kick out the last shot? Everyone.
Johnny.
Everyone in these title matches against Adam Cole has kicked out of at least one last shot. And it's the fact you've got, was it Shawn Michaels, you've got Road Dogg there. It feels very samey, and I think you want to shake it up a bit because the talent in NXT is ridiculous.
They shook it up tonight. Keith Lee is the double champion now. There's so many things to go. After this match, we didn't mention, there's this big American Bash celebration. Red, white, and blue confetti and some pyro. And we see from like almost not rafters, but like kind of further away up the little arena here is Karrion Kross and Scarlett kind of watching on TikTok. So obviously that is going to be our SummerSlam TakeOver main event in some capacity, being Karrion Kross and Keith Lee. But congrats to Keith Lee. I love Keith Lee. I think this is fantastic. Look, wrestling's just a little weird right now, as is the whole world, and it just didn't give me that feeling I thought we all knew we would get one day from Keith Lee winning. It's great. It's all great. I know a lot of people right now are really happy with this decision. Just like you kind of, it's just like the Drew McIntyre thing. Whether you like him or not, like, you didn't get that moment because it really didn't happen.
I feel for me as well, there's something about, and I felt this in the Gargano match, and I felt this here. I love Keith Lee. You look at the Royal Rumble this year, when you saw Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar in the same ring, and you look at Keith Lee as an underdog, but you know what he's capable of. He's this big guy that can do all this stuff. It was exciting. For me, a babyface Keith Lee throwing around a Johnny Gargano and an Adam Cole who are shorter than me, it's noticeable in NXT. And it feels weird from a babyface heel dynamic. I feel on the main roster, having him up against your Brocks, your Drews, your Romans, like other big guys, where Keith Lee can be kind of this underdog NXT indie guy who's big and does this impressive thing. But like watching you just effortlessly pick up Adam Cole and jackhammer power slam you and win, it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're big.
You're big. You know?
The BBC. The Big
BBC.
Bang Catastrophe.
Yeah.
The British, what is it? The British...
The Big Bang Catastrophe, yeah.
Yeah, or the big... Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Look, I really liked it. I really liked it, but it just wasn't anything that, like... I think in the end...
We're critics
honest,
of this show. We've been covering this show for a long, long time.
I think we're going to be happy with this moving forward. I don't know what we do with the double titles. We've been watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, and obviously before this pandemic hit, Naito became the double champ with the IC title and the IWGP World title. And it's like, well, now he's just been holding these two titles. So it's like, does he defend them twice? Does he defend them against someone? Do we just go forward with two titles?
I would prefer separate defenses.
Okay. So you're saying Keith Lee at TakeOver, if they're, SummerSlam TakeOver, should be two matches. Keith Lee versus Karrion for one title, and Keith Lee versus someone else for another.
Why not?
Because I don't know.
Or you can do that. Remember the triple threat at WrestleMania 2000, like where you have two titles on the line. The first fall is for like North American. The second fall is for the and you have a triple threat with it.
Oh.
So you could have Cole, Cross, and Lee. Is that what's going to happen?
Oh,
maybe.
Wow, we'll see. So you're saying Adam Cole's going to get the North American title now? They're going to swap titles?
So you'd have like Cole, Cross, and Lee in a triple threat. The first fall of the triple threat is for the North American title. So you could have Cross win it, you could have Lee retain it, and then second fall is for the NXT title.
I don't know.
I don't think he'll be carrying both around for long.
Well, I don't think he'll be carrying either because I think Vince McMahon's already seen him and wants him to be the WWE champion. So this guy's could be a stepping stone for Karrion Kross to become NXT champion because that's what I see.
Cross is going to get the title soon. You never have long babyface title runs in WWE.
So if Karrion Kross is taking the NXT title from Keith Lee, then you know who's taking the North American title? Cameron Grimes!
Love it. Do it.
So that was NXT. That's what we thought. Congratulations to Keith Lee. I'm excited to kind of see where they go with that because you know what? Maybe that was the problem. The Adam Cole era is over. He had a crazy, awesome run, but you know this whole world is kind of messed up.
It was a long run.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was awesome.
Yeah, it had its moments early on. It was really good.
Yeah,
we're taking it for granted. It fizzled out. You're right.
It was disappointing with the Dream feud and just obviously the current climate. But I would hope Undisputed move soon as well.
Oh man, what is this show going to become?
The show needs to freshen up though, I think.
Leave the memories alone. Don't change a thing. Let's go to some feedback. We go to Sino Evil. John Sino. He says, here to leave Legado del Fantasma. They said this was the first time Escobar, Wilde, and Mendoza had a trios match. That is a lie, as on March 4th, 2020 episode of NXT, they had a dark match defeating the team of Kushida, Tahuti Miles, and Tyler Breeze. If only we had noticed that, maybe we could have figured out the Lucha Cartel mystery 4 months ago. Oh, well. Wow, good catch. Wow. We didn't see that. Swerve versus Gargano was great. Definitely elevated Swerve to where he needs to be as North American champion. Check out his Lucha Underground matches as Killshot for his full potential. Now that Evolve is done, Fox would make a great coach/performer in NXT at only 32 years old, but he feels like he's been wrestling forever.
Sorry, yeah, he was saying check out the match against AR Fox in Lucha Underground,
which is
Fox would be a great coach performer in NXT.
So, and another thing is, that whole Evolve thing. You guys did some Evolve shows about a year ago, which you won't be doing anymore. I guess not everything evolves.
No.
Yeah. He continues, I don't know about the others, but I thought that finish to Candice and Mia was great. And what's up with Leon Ruff and Tony Nese having a dark match before this show? That was odd. But I would love to see Bronson Reed playing a big brother role to Leon Ruff. Ruff in thick. Heel Mercedes with her new gear and entrance was badass. Reminded me of a mix between Mortal Kombat and a Disney villain. Can we get a video package highlight? Cameron Grimes quotes every week. Once they said Lee dedicated the match to his grandmother and trainer killer Tim Brooks, who both passed away, I think there's no way this man was losing. Yep. Match was good, but I feel like there's more potential in a rematch. Amazing moment, though. Keith Lee's future sure looks bright. What would you do with the North American title? 8 tanks running over Stone's leg out of 10. And I think I already answered that with Cameron Grimes going to the moon.
We go to Wrestlingram. I always appreciate street fight attire. I guess you can call her Mia Tim. Okay, I'll see myself out. I'll go to Paul as well.
Go for it.
This is Paul from New Jersey. Enjoyed the street fight, but thought Yim should have went over. Perhaps people would take Breezango more seriously if they stopped acting like comedy jobbers. I really like Santana Garrett, so I hope they do something with her. Which brings me to the main event. Robert Stone just trying to do his job, and he gets attempted vehicular manslaughter instead. Is it manslaughter? Because she deliberately did that. Not cool, Shotzi. What would your dad say? Oh, and Lee Cole was rad. Glad they had Keith Lee go over. This was definitely the time to do it. Hope his first offense is against Cameron Grimes. He said he was the #1 contender, and I believe him. Kona fact. Kona misses traveling. Starting to have to dig deep for these, I went by saying you could not have picked a better social media person than John Cena. He really understands me. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
And then he's just posted a video of the Iconics.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Iconic. We go to Mystery. Hiya. Thoughts from tonight's show. The street fight was great. I wonder if it's Mia's farewell to NXT. They kept rolling the camera in the ring while she walked off. Mercedes Martinez losing her air horn theme is a travesty. That being said, give me Io versus Mercedes at TakeOver. Io Shirai versus Tegan will be good, but if WWE is hoping for viewers to support Tegan over Io, they are completely misreading the room. Hopefully Io goes over and moves on to another feud, probably Dakota or Candice, especially with Candice claiming she has to settle some scores. Io came across significantly more badass and cool than Tegan did. I'm getting Ember Moon and NXT vibes from Tegan. She would be completely eviscerated by the Full Sail audience if they were there. WWE needs to realize the whole super pure babyface gimmick almost never works for the women. The last person it worked with was Kyrie.
I disagree with that. What pissed me off about Ember Moon was that she was a werewolf vampire and then was walking around in jeans smiling and then complaining about shit.
Yeah,
it was like there was a disconnect.
Question of the week. How do you guys, especially Davie, feel about the rumors that Kyrie might be leaving now that Meltzer claims she's leaving? There's a lot of conflicting reports about it. Her match against Sasha on Raw was great, and it was interesting how protected she was in it, almost beating Sasha by submission before Bayley caused the DQ. That doesn't scream she is leaving soon.
Yeah, unless they just want to build up to that tag match. I don't know. I'll follow her career wherever she goes.
Yeah.
If this kind of scares WWE into actually treating her well on the main roster and she ends up staying, that's great. But I don't particularly have any interest in watching her just have the career she's had for the last year on the main roster. This week was great. I loved her coming out on Monday. Thought the match against Sasha was a lot of fun. But yeah, if she goes back to Japan, if she continues to wrestle, I'll watch it. And if she decides to call it a day, well, good for you.
Still have the Kyrie cutout.
Kyrie will always be here.
She'll always be in your heart, like Phil Collins. There's one more piece of feedback here.
It's Charbel, the chosen one.
I think he's written haiku.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. Do you want to read it?
I don't think it's quite a haiku.
It's not.
Okay. Gargano is perfect. Lee is perfect. Cole is perfect. Candice is perfect. Eat My Tank is perfect. Stone is awesome. I want him versus Truth.
Whoa.
This NXT was simply perfect. I love you guys.
Oh,
we love you too.
What's some great feedback.
I think he just calls Shotzi Eat My Tank.
He doesn't call her Shotzi. He calls her
Eat My Tank.
He doesn't know her name. He just calls her Eat My Tank.
Eat My Tank.
Thank you for the feedback, everyone. Thank you for everyone for listening. Shout out everyone in the YouTube room. That was NXT. Congratulations to Keith Lee and the Great American Bash. Look, I wouldn't say this was a bad show. It just wasn't anything. It was a good show. It was a good show. It just wasn't like, it didn't blow me away. And I can't wait to go watch Fyter Fest to see what was that about. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. Patreon.com/upnext. Every Thursday we do upNXT, where we talk about NXT and AEW. We kind of compare and review AEW Dynamite every week. And $5 a month is the North American tier. Gets you pretty much all our shows, including Best Match Ever, Was Next, the old NXT, including the Masato Tanaka versus Mike Awesome Best Match Ever rivalry feud, best matches. We're doing that with Nate Milton this week. And we have our Extreme Moments Top 5, where we're going through some crazy, just kind of like a highlights of just some extreme things, because our Patreon is Extreme Rules, the horror show.
Yeah, we'll also be looking at Anarchy Rules in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Lots of other things. And obviously our free New Japan Cup show next Wednesday, as well as check out the Hamilton review that you did with Nate.
Yes, I'm not giving away my shot tonight. King George is the best. Yes, follow us on Twitter at upNXT Podcast, and again our Facebook group, which is upNXT Podcast, and the Facebook page there as well. And you know, we love you guys listening to this show every Wednesday. We'll be back every Wednesday with our live YouTube at 10:30 after NXT every week. But we want to give a little shout out and some thank yous to some of the patrons that allow us to keep doing this show. So shout out to Andrew Hickey.
Wah!
Shout out to Randy. Just Randy.
Race by my dad.
Thank you to Sam.
Eat my tank.
Shaft Jackson. Thank you to Shannon Howanick.
Wah!
Hooah! Time to play the game. And thank you to Stephen Perry.
Whew.
Yeah.
I think is that Stephen or Stephen?
Stephen Perry. Thank you to both of you.
I want to say a big thank you to new patron Ken Stroud.
Yes. Hooah!
A big thank you to another new patron, Jose Mancilas.
Jose Mancilas.
A big thank you to one of our world champions who will be reviewing Lucha Underground with us at the end of the month.
Okay.
Patrick Herbert.
Hey, thank you, Patrick.
I want to give a big thank you to Rory Stevens, who just sent us a lovely email showing us his quarantine hair and saying how much he likes us, guys. So thank you, Rory.
Thank you.
I caught you in the YouTube room earlier, so thank you. And finally, a big thank you to the G, Frank G.
Thank you, Frank G. And thank you, everyone listening to us every week. We will be back next week. Again, with our New Japan Cup, our Up Next, and that'll be every Wednesday night. Follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/upnext. And wherever you find your podcasts, like us, write us nice reviews, 5 stars us like we're a great wrestling match.
Call Braden creepy and feedback and all that.
Tell me what I don't know. I'm going to go try to find a miniature tank, because now I really want one. Thank you so much. I myself, Braden Harrington, you can find me on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. I'm at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman.
Wash your hands. Don't be an ass. Wear a mask. Take care. Goodbye. And as Johnny Gargano once said, we're going to go set off some fireworks of our own.
Ahoy!
Woo!
Swamp Dick.
Swamp! Is it Swamp Dick or is it BTL? You know what BTL is?
Bacon, tomato, and lettuce.
Yeah. Does anyone in the YouTube room know what BTL? Oh, wait. Bacon, tomato, lettuce.
Yeah.
Tomato. You're making me say tomato.
Tomato.
No, it's balls to leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. Thank you, everyone in the YouTube room. Thank you, Dark Star, for listening. Thank you, Jake and Nader. Time to watch Hamilton. Yeah, go listen to it and go watch it and listen to our review. Thank you, Quinn. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Eric, Benjamin, M. Darrett, K. Moo, all the people in the room. Frank, John, everyone. Thank you guys so much. We will see you on the other side.
Love you and leave you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.